Hello everyone, what is going on? It is BanjoIsGaming here, and today I will bring you guys my Rugby League Live 3 review. During this review, I'm going to be bringing you guys the positives, the negatives, and any notes that I took down that don't kind of fit into either category, but they're still worthwhile to think about when you're making your purchase for this game. The final thing I'd like to say before I really get stuck into this review is that these are all my opinions, so if you feel differently, you can just leave that in the comments. Don't be nasty, just say what you think and why you think I was wrong, and I'll really take it into consideration when I look at the game in the future. Righto, so let's get going. The first thing I really look at in this game, we'll start with the positives. The first thing I see is the graphics. They are just amazing. Now, you may disagree, but when you look at these compared to the previous Rugby League Live games, like Rugby League Live 2 and Rugby League Live, they are just perfect, and you can really tell who is who, while you kind of struggled to do that within the old games. And it felt good just to look at these graphics, like it's just perfect. You really can tell that they put a lot of effort into making this game look nice before they released it to the public. The next positive I see is most certainly the controls. It's really simple to pick up if you haven't played a Rugby League Live game before, but it's also good for the people who've played the previous games because they don't really stray far from what we've gotten used to. They still have their same kicking buttons, there's still the step, the fend, and now they've introduced the goot step when you pull down on the right analog stick, so it's all good to get a bit of new but still the traditional. The biggest positive in this game I see though is definitely the career mode. As soon as you start up your career mode, you get the option to control a star player, make your own player and start as a rookie, or control your own team. Having all these options is great because it really gives you a bit of individuality when you want to play. Like, you're not forced into coaching a team, you're not forced into playing as yourself, and you're not forced into playing as another player. It kind of just appeals to a much bigger audience. Once you're into the career mode though, the positives really, they don't stop. There's a great way to see all the statistics when you're going through the ladder. The ladder is even well set out itself. It's just all positive. It looks clean, it looks well done, and it's what really appeals to this game and makes it just brilliant, better than all the rest. The final positive I'll talk about for this game is the customization. When you go into your My Factory where you can make your players, make your teams, there's just so many options. You can create your own player, there's a lot you can do with them. You can create your own team from any league and any player, and it's really simple, it's really straightforward. Anybody can do it, and you can even upload online and have other people see your teams. So that wraps it up for the positives, and now it's time to get on some of the negatives that I kind of disagree with about this game. The first negative I will talk about in this game is the goal kicking. We were all used to the kind of select when you want the power to be and select your accuracy, but in this game they're trying to change it up where it becomes more of a timing and strategy, and unless you've played the game for a long amount of time, you're really not going to get the goal. So if you were paying attention, you might have seen it in the background gameplay where I'm taking a few goals and it's a bit iffy because you click when you want them to run in. You don't click when you want them to kick the ball, so it's rather difficult for a new player, but once you play for long enough you kind of get a hang of it. The next negative is definitely the commentators. Like, if you've played Rugby League Live 2 or Rugby League Live 1 or really any Rugby League in general, even back to like the 2008 Rugby League 3 games on the Wii, the commentators are the same. There's nothing different, there's nothing new, there's nothing interesting. It's just the same old commentators, and it's once again, you just get bored halfway through the game. You don't really want to keep listening to them, you just turn them down, listen to your music, because there's no point. They say nothing interesting, they say nothing useful, they're just kind of there to make it not as dull. But before I continue on the negatives, I really want to talk about some of the gameplay, and really these are what I called the notes earlier on. It's just stuff about what happens during the game. Like, it's going to have positives and negatives, so I'll throw it in here. I'll chuck some more negatives at the end, but now I just kind of want to get on to the positives about the gameplay. As I said earlier, the game is beautiful, and the way it runs is exactly the same. It runs very smoothly, there's no lagging, there's no skippiness, it's all smooth and fluent. It kind of, even the animations really run just great. Like, you see them get hit and they fall the correct way. They don't get hit and do their generic fall. You can actually drive them in directions, which I love. If you need a touch, if you push the right stick in the direction you want them to go, they drive them that way. They really try to push them into that direction. So they really just improved a lot of small things on the gameplay and made it look nicer rather than adding completely new elements. Now, I'll throw in another negative here just to keep the ball rolling, and this negative is a big one to me because it kind of Well, it damages the game for me. When you pass the ball in a regular play, if it hits the opposition, it isn't called touch, it isn't called knock on, it's just play on. So you could pass the ball into the opposition, it could go forward and they can pick that ball up and they can run and score. And it's really a bummer when learning the game, because it happens a lot since the gameplay has changed just enough from Rugby League Live 2 that you need to learn new ways to score. And since this next point kind of relates to what I just said about the gameplay and the knock-ons, with your wingers, if you're running the ball, you really want to draw and pass, your wingers find it funny to run in front of you, so you pass into touch, or if they're not running into touch, they come underneath you, so you can't pass the ball to them. And well, it's just a bit of an AI. I feel like they could just fix it with a simple update, but no one's really said anything to them. Like, it's very hard when you're running towards the sideline and you're looking to make a runaway try or draw a pass fullback, and your winger just runs in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't control them. Alright, so that's enough negatives. Let's get on to a positive to finish up this video. And these are just going to be a few quick positives which I really love. Some great changes they made to the game to really improve on what they already had. And to start off, I want to mention that there are Auckland 9 comps. It is the first thing you'll play when you start your career, or you can just click play now and change to Auckland 9s. And it's a great fun because I often play against my friends or I play against my brother in an Auckland 9s, and it makes the game much faster, it's quicker, and it's really enjoyable just to watch your players with only 9 on the field and control that and challenge yourself to defend, and it's just great fun. Following up on that, another career thing is that when your players become available to buy, instead of them having the same consistent price through all of the buy season, at the start they could ask for 100 grand more than what they actually want, and as it goes on and nobody purchases them, their prices drop and they become cheaper. So it's a bit of a waiting game. You can wait for their price to come down but risk them being bought by another team. But as if you're retaining your player, you always get the first dip, so it's great to watch their prices come down and feel good when you get that bargain on a great player. So that wraps up my Rugby League Live 3 review, and I really want to thank you guys for watching. In this outro here, you can see my sister's channel on the right. She does booktube, so if you want to check that out, feel free. There will be previous episodes once I upload a few more. On my left here, there's my Twitter, will be linked in the middle. Please follow me as I post when I'm going to upload a new video and tell you guys all about. So you'll get to feel free there, and please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.